Previously on The Night Hunter, we finished chapter 2, so now we're moving on to chapter 3. First, we have the artwork for chapter 3, and it looks like some sort of cabin in the middle of a forest. So we did figure out who the killer was in chapter 2, so maybe we're trying to track this guy down. So next, there's a couple letters to read, and this smaller envelope that says evidence on it, and then we have a folder that says chapter 3, case 1. So I'll get all this stuff scanned over, and we'll go through one by one. All right, so we have chapter 3 here. We have the 2 letters, the evidence folder, and the case 1 folder. And here's another look at that chapter 3 image. So we got a shed in the background as well. It's always suspicious. And here is that first letter. So I did look up how to pronounce this, and it's Volpes, and apparently it's a fox. All right, so agents, excellent work identifying Jeffrey Volpes as the killer. Records show that he lived in Barstow and worked at the Museum of Natural Science up until the middle of 1990. We have obtained records of employment for Volpes and confirmed that he was a night janitor at the museum and was assigned to floor 2. We then used county clerk records to find Volpes' childhood home in Barstow that he later inherited. It's an older home on a large property right at the edge of a wooded area. So that's the home, I guess. When our Barstow team searched the premises, they found skeletal remains in a shallow grave behind the shed. What did I say about that shed? By verifying dental records, the victim was identified as Eileen Townsend, so that's where she went. The same woman whose missing persons case led us to the access card with Volpes' fingerprint. It seems that she was another one of the Night Hunter's victims, and all this time it was Volpes' floor 2 access card in the box with her case files. I see, so they just thought it was Eileen's cards and they never looked into it. He likely attacked her in the parking lot before transporting her body to his home, but didn't realize their access cards came loose in the struggle. Maybe she even dropped them on purpose? Unfortunately, we'll never know, but at least now she can finally be laid to rest. Along with discovering Townsend's body, we uncovered other evidence while at the house. However, I will warn you that some of this is disturbing. Enclosed is the evidence envelope for your review. We've been attempting to gain information from Mendax to help track down Volpes, but he has yet to cooperate with us. I need you to look back through Mendax's records. If we can find the connection between Mendax and Volpes, then we may be able to leverage that to convince him to help us apprehend the real Night Hunter. Sincerely, Captain Snow. Objective 3.1. Find evidence that reveals the connection between Jeffrey Volpes and Bill Mendax. My initial guess is that they're related somehow, maybe brothers. Next, we have criminal profile Jeffrey Volpes, aka the Night Hunter. And there's a photo of him. Photo of Jeffrey in janitor's office provided by museum. So this is back in 1990, whatever year that was. Name, Jeffrey Harris Volpes, known alias the Night Hunter, Jeffrey Volpes. Birth date, January 18th, 1965. He was 6'1". That's right, pretty tall. Last recorded in 90 as 180 pounds. Brown hair, brown eyes. Wanted for 5 counts of first-degree murder, assault, battery, stalking, theft and larceny, forgery, and fraud. Last known location, Little Rock, Arkansas. Current whereabouts, unknown. Criminal status, wanted. Okay, so now we know what it looks like. At least back in 1994 or 5, whenever that was, he was working at the museum. All right, now onto the contents of this evidence folder. So at a quick glance, these images seem okay, but just as a warning, like I said in that first letter, it might be a little disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised. So on this folder, it says we have 3 photographs, 1 double-sided journal page, and 1 brochure of museums. Here's that first image. I think this is in the house. And the book says Dental Anatomy, a guide to self-dentistry. Okay, this makes me think of that article in chapter 1, right? Let's go there really quick. So back in chapter 1, there was this article where there was a bite mark on this apple that a killer left behind. And there was these weird lines that indicate someone was doing some self-dentistry. Was it a murder? I forget what happened. Let me see. Oh, it was just a robbery. Sorry, I don't think anyone was killed. So maybe we might need some info here. And then this talks about the taxidermy. He was also hiding in a taxidermy place in the wolf outfit for Elena, the third of the past 3 cases. Affordable dentures and implants. I didn't see this part either. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to read this again. Who knows? Let's just move on. Okay, so next is a photo of two little kids. Is this Jeffrey and Bill? It's Bill Mendax, right? Yeah, William or Bill. Oh, wait, yeah, we have his childhood photo here. Hold on, let's do some side-by-side comparison. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that look like him? This one in the front here? Or is it the kid in the back? So this photo was found in the house, right? So, I mean, the assumption is that one of them is Jeffrey. And then the other, my assumption is that he's related to Bill, possibly brothers. Let's just keep moving on. Okay, we got some teeth here, some pliers and some wire. Is this part of the self-dentistry? Nothing else is really sticking out. I mean, is this blood on the photo? Oh, another thing too is that I should probably check the physical pieces of evidence. Could be some fingerprints on them, particularly this Polaroid photo. Aha! Right away. It's not fingerprints, but I'll show you guys. So right here. And it says Brothers Forever. Oh, I remember something too about this symbol, the square in a circle. Someone had that tattoo, right? It was Bill, right? Bill Mendax. All right, let me go back to that profile. I should just copy the whole profile over here. Yeah, right here. Tattoo on chest of a circle inside a square. So I'm guessing they both have the same tattoo. All right, I mean, that's the connection right there. Do we even need to go through the rest? Well, yes, we do, but I'm just saying. It's a brother who is trying to protect his younger brother. All right, we'll just replace that with the one with the UV light, where it says Brothers Forever, and the circle within a square. I'm just gonna check some of the rest of the stuff, make sure there's nothing else I'm missing. Okay, let's continue. Next, we have this brochure for the museums. I'm not sure how it's supposed to look when you open it, but this is from the scan. I guess you see this first, so we'll look on this side. Sweetwater Museum of Nature, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not too sure how much I need to go into detail yet. I'll probably have to come back to this. We have Museum of Natural Sciences in Washington, D.C. Here's the Museum of Natural Science in Barstow. We have Hilton Museum, San Antonio, Clay Museums, Louisville. We have Albuquerque, New Mexico, where one of the other previous cases was. So we already know or have the inclination that he works in various museums where he does his killings. We don't know why, but that's just the hunch we have, right? Okay, we have Little Rock, we have Oklahoma City, where another one of the previous cases was. Winslow, Arizona, Knoxville, Tennessee. All right, well, let's just move on for now. Lastly, in this evidence folder, we have this two-sided letter. Let's go ahead and read it. Today, it's another dull night. At least I have my friends. They listen to me. Dr. Smalls says they're not real, that they're not really my friends, but they are. They understand me at least. They're the only company I have most nights since you left. I saw Terry walking around the halls at work today. I don't like Terry much. He isn't very smart. He doesn't understand these creatures like I do. Today I spoke to Redacted at the museum today. She's very smart, unlike Terry. She understands these animals. I caught her one night in the exhibit just staring at the displays. She's like me, I think. Oh, okay, this must be Eileen, huh? I wonder if I can use the light on it. So I can't use the light, but it looks like the first letter is an M. You can kind of make out an M here, and especially on this one. Definitely not an E. So who's M? Oh, it did mention in the letters to Bill in prison, right, that he met somebody. Could this be that somebody? All right, moving on. Today, I don't think blank likes me looking at her. She caught me staring the other day, and she told me to never do it again. Why? What's wrong with it? We both stare at my friends, and they never complain. I'm guessing the friends are the displays at the museum. Today, I haven't been able to sleep. Mom left the house to me in her will. It's quiet with no one here, yet the sound of all my childhood memories won't stop filling my brain. my memories of you. It's like a door open that's long been shut. Okay, who is he writing to? Is he writing to his brother? Today, I needed fresh air, so I went out back to sit on the porch. I couldn't stop staring at the shed in the distance. It's always the shed, man. All those nights when Dad would come home angry and shouting, you would tell me to go hide. You were always there to protect me. I would hide in the woods behind the shed. Okay, yep. Protective older brother who would go to prison for him. Oh, it's still part of the same sentence. I would hide in the woods behind the shed until it was over. You kept me safe. The woods kept me safe. The night kept me safe. You were the light in all of the darkness. The square protects the circle. Oh, that's what it means. So Bill is the square and Jeffrey is the circle. Today, she says she is taking my friends away. I saw them getting out crates and boxes. She says they're going on a trip, that they're leaving. Why would she do this? I thought she understood them. I thought she understood me, but she doesn't. She doesn't at all. She tricked me. Today, I can't let them get away with this. I can't let her do this to me, to my friends. They won't like being taken away. They won't like being taken away from me. No, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm guessing like some of the displays are just being transferred. Today, why is it that foxes can be predators and kill without reason, yet when a person kills, they are punished? Aren't we all predators? Why are foxes given the freedom that we are not? Maybe Volpes is not his real last name. It's Mendax. Today, what happens to an animal when it's been wounded? It flees. It hides. Blank will not flee, but she will hide. I will hide her. My friends hid things out back. I used to watch them as I hid behind the shed. They would bury things near my hiding place. I can hide things there too. Tomorrow. Okay, so it is Eileen they're talking about. What's this symbol? Is these fox ears? Scissors? I don't know. All right, well, that's it for the evidence folder. Let's move on to the case 1 folder. So I did see a quick peek and it does show some bones and it's Eileen's. So again, it is fictional, but just saying, viewer discretion advised. But first we have the folder, chapter 3, case 1, Eileen Townsend. So the date shows 2021, which I think is the current year that we're in, or the current time of this game. So now it's a reopened or a new case or something, right? Because we're just finding out all these facts. All right, so now we're going to go to that picture. So here are the remains of Eileen Townsend, and we can see the words sneaky and clever, like a fox. So she was trying to be sneaky by taking away his friends. Is there anything in here that I need to see? I'm not too sure. If so, we'll come back. But for now, let's move on. All right, we have another fax of a letter. Handwritten note found between pages of a journal in the home. Okay, so it wasn't found with the body. It has the same image here. They think you are cunning and smart, but they'll never see you the way I do. I see inside your eyes and mind. You slink and slide across my thoughts. Will you ever know that it would just be enough for you to look up and see me, to know me, and to know that I know you too? Okay, so is this the person that he was talking about in the letters to Bill? I'm not sure, but we have one more document, and it's a forensics or crime scene report. All right, so she was born in 62. She's 5'4", age 28. Skeletal remains only. Dental records used for identification. She was a curator. The victim was buried in a shallow grave where the body decomposed down to skeletal remains. The body has been in this state for years. A small cardboard sign was found buried next to the victim reading sneaky and clever. All right, well, I think we have enough to solve the first objective, so let's go ahead and do that. So here we are back at the site, and let's go to chapter 3. So this time, no interviews or other additional evidence to read. But here we have objective 3.1, using everything you know, figure out the connection between Jeffrey Volpes and Bill Mendax. Okay, let's go to solution. All right, so we have former cellmates co-workers at the museum, and siblings. I wish there was more you have to do. There's not much you do from this point. You just pick one of these. But we did figure out that they're siblings. So let's go ahead and pick that. Correct. Jeffrey Volpes and Bill Mendax are brothers. Jeffrey Volpes' journal entry and evidence envelope mentions the square protects the circle. Cross-reference this with the arrest record that mentions Mendax has a tattoo on his chest with a circle inside a square. Use the blacklight device on the childhood photo of the two boys to see circle inside a square and the words brothers forever. Okay, well, let's move on to the next objective. So now we can open chapter 3, envelope 1. All right, we got it all scanned over, not too much in this envelope. We just have a map and then a letter and some other sort of map. So let's start off with this letter. Agents, it's clear now why Mendax was not cooperating with our investigation and why he confessed to murders that he could not have committed. We have questioned their extended family and confirmed their relationship as siblings, but are still investigating what their relationship and family dynamics were like. Perhaps Mendax sees himself as still protecting his little brother. We now have more than enough evidence to convict Volpes. We just need to find him. Once you determine where he will strike next, we can finally stop him and bring him to justice. Objective 3.2. Determine where Jeffrey Volpes is heading next. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm guessing we'll have to look at all the other stuff too. First, let's take a look at this map. I should probably go ahead and mark this map with all of the previous cases. But before I do that, I'm going to look at the other document as well. We at least see Barstow circled. All right, and this is Barstow, California. We have this part is circled for some reason. Is this the museum? It's interesting that everything is on a grid here and there's one location on each spot. And this is C3, Oakmont Street. Oh, do we have an address for the museum? Let's see. In Barstow, no, not in this one. I don't know if we've had many addresses, right? It's always just the city and the state. Okay, I just kind of combed through all of the other evidence. I didn't really see a street name. I could have been missing something, but I don't know. Let's just start marking up this map. So from the previous 3, we have Winslow, Arizona, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And then for Caroline, it was in Little Rock. All right, so I've mapped out all the locations. This was the first one, and then Albuquerque and Oklahoma, and then Caroline was in Little Rock. So it seems like he's going this way on the 40, or this highway. So was Barstow the first one? I know we're just discovering things now, but was it the first one, I guess? Anyways, making his way here and hitting these major cities. So if he continues, is it going to be Memphis or Nashville? Oh, I think it's the red ones, right? So these, Winslow and Albuquerque, it's not red, but Oklahoma City and Little Rock are red. So if he's continuing with this pattern, the next one would be Nashville, Tennessee. So that is my hunch. Now, I'm not sure what this is all about. Is it like it's in the middle? So whatever is the most central city in a state? Is that even true though? No, because this one would have been Phoenix, right? But it's not along this highway. But it does look like for whatever's along this highway, no, because then it would have been Flagstaff instead of Winslow. Okay, anyways, I think it's Nashville. Let's just move on with that. Okay, so we go back to chapter. Go on to 3.2. Determine where Jeffrey Volpes is heading next. Oh, okay. Well, it's Tennessee, right? He's heading towards Tennessee. Where's Knoxville, though? Let me see. Knoxville is all the way over here. Okay, well, I mean, of all of these, it's definitely in Tennessee, right? So let's go ahead and pick it. Yes! Use the museum brochure. Oh, we're supposed to use the brochure in the evidence envelope with the U.S. map to map out the killer's route. The killings progress east on the USA map from Barstow, California to Little Rock, Arkansas. Wait, why do we need to use the brochure? Oh, because there's a museum in Knoxville. That's why. Oops. Okay, so maybe I didn't need to know that. So I didn't quite 100% that one, because you'll see right here, and I did read this. There's a Knoxville Science and History Discovery Center. So that would be the next one on his way. Extending the Night Hunter's map movements to the next location on the highway leads to Knoxville. All right, well, that was a nice little quick one, but now we can go ahead and open Chapter 2, Envelope 2. All right, so we got way more stuff in this envelope. Let's go ahead and go one by one. First, we have a letter. Agents, we can now predict the Night Hunter's movements. Given what you have found, Knoxville is the most likely location for his next destination. Figure out where he might be hiding in the city. Study his previous locations, figure out what they have in common, and try to deduce where he might be living. If you can get us to a street, we'll send a team to cordon off the area and pin him down. All communication to and from Mendax is under heavy monitoring during our investigation. Prison guards found several postcards stashed behind a loose brick in a wall in Mendax's cell. I have included these in this packet in case they may be useful. Yes, they definitely will. Sincerely, Captain Snow. All right, objective 3.3. Determine which street Jeffrey Volpes lives on. Next, we have evidence entry. Attachment 2 pages of photocopied identification cards. The Edwards Natural Science Center in Little Rock was recently preparing for renovations. As the demolition started, they pulled the employee lockers off the wall and found a hidden compartment behind the locker that Jeffrey Volpes used. He was going under a different alias at that time. Everyone there knew him as Jeffrey Pardus. At this time, we are not sure why he had so many fake IDs for Knoxville. We can only assume that he was already planning to move to Tennessee next and was practicing making IDs again. Maya Goldman, our profiler, weighed in on this. She seems to think he would have become attached to one of these parts of town while practicing making fake IDs, and will likely live very near one of these locations. We can't get search warrants for the whole city, so hopefully we can find some kind of pattern that will let us narrow our search to a single street. Initially, I'm thinking something with animals, like a zoo or another taxidermy place. So something that he would become attached to. All right, let's move on. Okay. Oh, is this what he looks like? I guess he is much older now than that original photo we saw. List of IDs found at the Night Hunter's work lockers. Some of these seem well worn and used. Others feel brand new, like they were extras or never used. So the worn out ones are obviously ones where he looks younger. We got Jeffrey Volpes, which is in Barstow. We have Jeffrey Bracas, Jeffrey Emptor, Jeffrey Sequitur, Jeffrey Rigger, Jeffrey Loader, Jeffrey Pardus, Jeffrey Lupus. Oh, why am I reading the handwriting? I could just read the text. Okay, so here's his Knoxville address at least. Oh wait, there's multiple, right? Yeah, so we have 4 addresses in Knoxville. This one he's smiling, but the rest he's not. Is that an indicator? Also, is the details different? I mean, the date of birth is kind of slightly off, but nothing too significant. His height also pretty close. Okay, well, let's just keep going. Oh, right, we have more IDs and more in Knoxville. Okay, he's not smiling in any of these either. There's only that one where he's smiling. This looks like Matt Damon or something. All right, oh, another Knoxville, but he's not smiling. I mean, is that something that seems so simple, right? It's like it's the only one where he's smiling. We'll pay attention to this address first, but I'll probably try to look at all of them. All right, next we have these 5 maps and then these 4 postcards. So this is Winslow, Arizona. The museum here is in the middle. Oh wait, I think we need to see where he stayed in these as well, in these cities. Okay, we got Albuquerque, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, and Knoxville. All right, so if I'm correct, then there should only be one ID for the other cities. So let's start with Winslow, Arizona. Here's Winslow, Arizona, and we have Furzon Lane. And that is the only Winslow one. All right, Furzon, where's Furzon Lane? Right here. Steakhouse. Ooh. All right, gonna circle that here. Let's go check the next one. Albuquerque, New Mexico. We got Amaryllis. Amaryllis. Where's the steakhouse? Where's the steakhouse? Oh, it's not the steakhouse. But we have Amaryllis here. Cuban restaurant. Okay, so he's changing it up a bit. Don't know why. Oklahoma City, we have Weber Road. And that is right here, a coffee shop. Not quite the same. I mean, there is a zoo here, which was my initial hunch. But let's just keep going. Little Rock, we have Mill Avenue. And that is... where is it? Right here in the center. Buffet. All right. Very inconsistent, though. All right, in Knoxville, this is what we need to figure out. I need to look at the previous one as well. Let's copy this Barstow one over. Also, maybe I can make this easier to see all of them at once. So in Barstow, he's on Oakmont, and it's next to an office. It's at a park. Oh, right. I didn't even focus on that part. But the rest are not all at parks. I mean, this one is by a river or something. No, I don't think that's it. One thing I forgot too are these postcards. Maybe I should read these. Oh, and they have the symbols too. Well, I mean, I know by the location, but let's see. This is the snake. Oh, there's words here. Oh, there's words on all of them. Do I need to connect them? A walk at night through lonesome wood can calm a wonderful worried mind. Let's read that one more time. A walk at night through lonesome wood can calm a worried mind. Bill, I have been getting the urge again. I'm revisiting my old stomping grounds in Winslow. It's a long drive from where I live in Knoxville. Oh, he lives in Knoxville. But the memories are worth it. Let me trace my steps so you feel like you've gotten some fresh air today. I parked behind my old apartment in Furzon Lane. Did we get that? Is that the one we picked? And walked to the museum where I used to work. I always loved living within walking distance and taking lunches in Balboa Park. So I walked there next before heading back to the apartment. Do I gotta trace all these movements? I was going to drive home to Knoxville, but I remembered how nice the zoo was here, so I meandered there next. It was getting late, so I jogged towards the car, but lost my bearings and ran right past my street. Before I knew it, I was standing in front of the police station, jogged back and hopped in the car to head home. Okay. And is this also something too? Oh, I see a design now. Okay, let's piece it together. Yep, there's this here too. Since I think all of these are going to give me instructions, maybe I'll just read it as I'm like marking it down. For now, I want to match all the tops. At least let me read the top parts though. This is where my friends live. So gentle and so kind. At the zoo. Okay. Yeah, animals are your friends. We got it. This is where my friends died, and for them I will kill. Okay. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer still. So he stays near police stations? So based on the text, I think this one goes up. That's just my guess. Actually, no, you can say that for all of them. Let's just put it together and we'll try to rotate everything. Okay, so we got a little X marks the spot kind of deal here. I don't think it's meant to like read in a circle. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer still. This is where my friends died, and for them I will kill a walk at night. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But there isn't. What is this? Oh, is it whatever's in between these locations? So we have a museum, park, zoo, and police station. Okay, let's test this theory out. So we have museum, zoo, police, and park. So whatever is in the middle of these four is where he stays. All right, so let's test that with the others. Not with this one though. That didn't work out. This one too doesn't work out. Because that would have been... Oh, we have the police, the zoo, the park is up here. Oh, it is. It is. Because museum, park, zoo, police. And technically, this is the middle. Okay, so there's different configurations here. Yeah, we got the park, zoo, museum, police. Okay. And this one, it's all in the corners. Park, police, museum, zoo. So it's the very center. And we have park, police, zoo, museum. Okay. All right. So do I need to read the postcards? Or can we just figure this out? For completeness, let's just read those cards. All right, this is Albuquerque. Bill, well, it's stirring in me again. Lately, I'm just so anxious to feel those old feelings, so I decided to hop in the car and drive through the night to Albuquerque. I parked at the old museum and walked past my old apartment to the park. I always loved living close to my favorite places, but this walk is a bit further than I remembered. I watched an attractive young couple eat lunch at the park and got kind of hungry myself, so I walked back to the old apartment and ate at this little Cuban restaurant behind it. After lunch, I walked to the zoo, where I brought you this postcard. I love seeing my friends there. That reminds me of a story I want to tell you. There is some drama brewing in the exhibit back home. I will have to tell you about it some other time. This is Little Rock. Bill, got the bug again today and hit the road. Parked by my favorite tree just in front of the museum and went for another walk. Headed towards my old apartment and thought I would see if I could catch my old neighbor Grace walking her dog. Didn't see her. What a shame. She usually walks her dog to the park, so I headed there next. No sign of her, but I saw this disrespectful kid yelling at the doves in the park. I didn't like that. His mother didn't even stop him. Followed the boy and his mother, and they walked to the zoo. I thought about teaching them a lesson, but I should get back on the road and drive home. Okay, are these supposed to give me clues about the zoo and the park? Lastly, it's Oklahoma City Police Station. Weird place to get a postcard. Bill, I have been traveling again. Here was my walk today. I stopped at the old apartment here in OKC and walked straight to the park to buy a postcard, but didn't find one. I walked back to the car to grab my lunch. Before I knew it, it was afternoon and I was still on the hunt for a postcard to send you when I had a clever idea. I walked down to the police station. Back in the day, I loved living close to all the commotion. I walked right in and asked the man behind the desk if they had postcards for sale. These OKC police are so proud of their 100-year-old station that they had this very postcard I'm writing to you on now. Seeing them again makes me want to show them something never before seen. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I didn't really need to read those. This kind of pieced it together. And now we're in Knoxville. So do I even need to look at all the driver's licenses? We got the zoo. Oh, we got the park. Where's the police station? Oh, police museum. Okay. Oh, you're going to be by a school? Oh, no. Well, now we know you're going to be at Stanford Boulevard. But before we put the answer in, let's just make sure one of his IDs says Stanford. I thought it was going to be the one where he's smiling. And we see it right here. 202 Stanford Boulevard. And he's going by Jeffrey Chiroptera. Chiroptera? All right, let's go see if we're right. Back to chapter. Determine what street Jeffrey Volpes lives on. And we have Stanford Boulevard right here. Ready? Correct. Line up the postcards to see an X. Note that the X on the postcard points to the museum, zoo, park, and police station. Notice that everywhere the killer lived was always in the middle if you draw an X between the museum, the park, the zoo, and the police station. Find a location that is at the middle of the X between the museum, the park, the zoo, and the police station. That location is Stanford Boulevard. Here is the letter from Captain Snow before moving on to chapter 4. Agents, thanks to you, we were able to find Jeffrey Volpes' apartment in Knoxville. Our teams were able to canvass the blocks until we discovered where he lives. Words won't be enough to describe what was found in the apartment, but we will have evidence and photos as soon as we can catalog it all. Unfortunately, the night hunter himself was not there, and now that he knows we are looking for him, we might be out of time. However, we have reason to believe he has already chosen his next victim. We just don't know who it is, so we may have one more chance. Stand by, agents, we're going to need you. Sincerely, Captain Snow. End of chapter 3. All right, so that was it for chapter 3. It went by a lot faster than I thought it would. If you're enjoying the series, don't forget to give this video a like. Also consider subscribing to our channel. In the next video, who knows, maybe we'll do all chapter 4 in one video as well. And if that video is out, it'll be right here, along with a playlist for you guys, so it's easier to follow along. If it's not out yet, hit that notification bell. You'll know exactly when the next video comes out, and I hope to see you then.